recently did a video, which I will link up here, all about my unique approach to decluttering and the method that I use to keep my home clutter-free. Well, you guys seem to really enjoy that video, so today I'm going to do a deeper dive into my actual method so that you can really understand how you can implement this in your home. Before having kids, I didn't have this urgency to declutter, or perhaps my home just wasn't threatened by the constant clutter that adding family members brings. Perhaps you can relate. And with every child, more stuff seems to happen upon us. I'm no longer just time poor as a mom, I'm also space poor. I really want to go into this process so that you can start to implement some of these principles in your own life if you're feeling like me. But first, hello, welcome or welcome back. My name is Julie. I make videos all about living a clutter-free life so that you have time to spend on the important things. If this is something that interests you, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up so that I know that this is the kind of content that is helpful to you, and let's jump right in. So this is a really simple 4-part method that I use basically daily to decide what gets to stay in my home and what has got to go. In my opinion, people are decluttering backwards, and that's why they fall into this trap of starting a decluttering process, losing energy, losing motivation, and then kind of abandoning the whole thing altogether. When you're new to decluttering or you've never seen it modeled growing up, the thought of just having a huge pile of crap to just throw out is very, very daunting. You need a system that you can be consistent with, that you can easily remember, that just becomes a daily habit for you if you want to be clutter-free for the long term. I have 4 buckets that I think all of our stuff kind of belongs in. I'm going to run you through them really quick. The definites, the maybes, the donates, and trash. And things are fluid. Things move from stage to stage depending on what phase of life you may be in. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So when I talk about how we are doing decluttering wrong, I really feel like things need to earn their spot in our house, and we need to be focused more on what we're trying to keep than what we are discarding. That way we really know what we have space for and whether those things that we may choose to dispose of actually have earned the right to be there in the first place. So what does this look like practically? This method really works for all size spaces, whether you're doing a drawer or a closet or a whole room or a whole house even. So let's take the example of art supplies for kids. I'm a mom, this is my life. So if you have a drawer that has kids stationery or little like tchotchkes that they collect, at least my kids do, what I recommend you do, you take out that entire drawer, you take everything out and you put it in front of you so that you can really see and evaluate the space. Then instead of just discarding things, you choose what has to stay, because there are going to be things that belong to the definite category, correct? Things that you definitely want to keep, that you don't need to get rid of, that you need to use in your life. They get to go in first, and they need to fit in a reasonable fashion. Now, what do I mean by reasonable? Reasonable is something that is not overwhelming for you. Everybody will have a different reasonable meter, right? A different reasonable tolerance. Something that when you open and close that drawer, it doesn't stick. Something where you can see the things that you use most frequently very easily. They're not hiding behind things that are harder to get to. That's what I mean by reasonable. Once you've put back all those definites, only then can you move on to the next category. So here we find ourselves in the maybe section. And to me, the maybes are always the on the fence. I don't know, will I need this in the future? What if so-and-so wants this? Someone gave this to me and I feel bad discarding it, but I don't really use it. The maybes, they are a tough category, but here's the thing. When you have a confined space like a drawer or cabinet, you only have a certain amount of real estate in there. Those maybes only earn a spot in your drawer if there's enough space. So if you fill them up with definites, either you have to get rid of some of those definites and move them to a different category, or you don't put any more maybes in there. And you can try and cram things in like we all have, but this problem will just keep recurring and you'll be in the same spot a month from now, 2 months from now, wasting time decluttering the same area that became super messy when your kids were going through everything in one day. A little hack with the maybes that actually my mom taught me. Everybody listen to your moms. She told me to put the maybe category, she didn't call it the maybe category, but this is what she meant. Put something that I'm on the fence about in a container or in a box, put it away or put it at the back of the closet. If you reach for it, you know that you need it. If you don't, and you give yourself a certain time limit, 6 months, a year, whatever your threshold is, you know it can go. You can clearly live without it. And then you get the donates. These are things you don't use, things that you have duplicates of, things that are just not appropriate for your life right now. Perhaps you're a young mom and doing all these hobbies with sewing machines or art is not really within your wheelhouse right now. It's not time, but somebody else could really benefit from those supplies. Donating can also be hard, and we can feel emotionally trapped by our stuff. Fortunately, I created a video all about the emotional pull that things have over us, so make sure you go and check that out. I'll have it linked, I don't know which way, definitely down below, so you can go and have a look, and that will help you go through the mental process of detaching from your clutter and make it a lot easier to give things away. I'm hoping by now, as you've started this process and you're on a decluttering roll, that the donations aren't so difficult for you. But if they are, ask yourself these questions. Have I used this in the past year? Is this in good enough condition to donate to somebody else? And how valuable is the mental and physical space that I gain from letting this item go? For me, knowing that someone else will really benefit from it and find joy in it really helps me to detach and let go from the thing that I'm donating. And then the fourth category is trash. Perhaps this is the easiest for you. People put this into a separate category, but honestly, if you see trash while you are decluttering, go ahead and just throw it out. Have a little trash bin with you so that it's easy to do. There's no resistance to getting that thing in the trash. But if you need a special moment to just scour the room, this is when you do it. So that is my 4-step method. Super simple, kind of obvious, but so effective. And now that it is just part of my routine, I ask myself these questions kind of subconsciously. It's like a long-term diet, and you'll see that I refer to clutter and healthy eating a lot because there are so many overlaps and similarities. You can't just eat one healthy meal and be healthy the rest of your life. You need to be consistently attacking a healthy lifestyle and attacking clutter in your home in order to keep it that way. Just one of life's principles. And our needs change. We are human, dynamic and ever-changing, and our environment and our stuff reflects that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know to create more clutter-free content for you. I would be so appreciative if you could go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for more advice on decluttering and organization, make sure you check out these videos that I've created, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.